Now, Hillary Clinton may well have accidentally, surprise, surprise, said the quiet bit out loud. Now, as we know, this government here in Australia is trying to censor the internet because of misinformation, despite the fact there are many other laws about libel and defamation and all the rest of it. Well, she said this about why we need to crack down more on what is said on social media. Now, remember, unlike the United States actually has written into their Bill of Rights the freedom of speech.
That if the platforms, whether it's Facebook or Twitter X or Instagram or TikTok, whatever they are, if they don't moderate and monitor the content, we lose total control. And it's not just the social and psychological effects, it's real harm.
We lose total control. Matt, what does that mean?
Yeah, I really want to know what the word "we" means in that sentence. Who are the we? I'm not sure they're all the American people. It's very concerning, and there's an explicit strategy from some agencies within the US to try and circumvent their First Amendment by imposing free speech restrictions in other countries, which would potentially also then bind the American social media companies for America too. Obviously, that's happening here in Australia with our misinformation and disinformation bill, so-called misinformation. It's also happening in Europe as well. I think it's very concerning times. I think Australians deserve to speak freely about political issues. And a point that's not made very often, but is almost equally important, Paul, is that I have the right to also listen to my fellow Australians. Because every time you silence someone from speaking, you're also restricting the rights of someone else to hear those views. I also want to hear from people I disagree with. For example, X recently cancelled the Australian Conservation Foundation over nuclear energy. I didn't agree with that. They're my political opponents. Didn't like what they had to say, but I have every right to hear what they have to say. That is the test of a free, healthy and functioning democratic society. And this move to reintroduce a modern form of blasphemy and start censoring particular political views is incredibly retrograde and needs to be stopped in its tracks.
As a man who'd like Harris to win, geez, Hillary's always helpful, isn't she?
Yeah,
she's always so helpful. And it's not like a person who runs one of these social media companies hasn't already said that he's pro the other guy in the race.
It's a level of spectacular introspection or lack thereof that makes this person launch her book in the maelstrom of a election campaign against the person that beat her, 8 years ago. Mm-hmm. It is just the idea, and because that's what the interview was. It was her pumping up the tyres for a new book. And, fine, write your book, another autobiography.
Yeah,
I think we're up to about our fourth or fifth autobiography.
I mean, Kevin only had 2.
But, write your book, good, get it out there. But do you have to do it now? At the point that the Democrats are doing their best to get people interested and enthused about Kamala Harris and disliking Donald Trump, do you want to remind people that, well, actually, this was the last time they ran someone that Trump ran against?
But also, perhaps I have a strange view on this, right? I think the way to push back against what they believe to be conspiracy theories, whatever, is maximum transparency, right? But gone are the days when you only had to have mates at 4 TV stations and a couple of newspapers to be able to make sure, hey, come on, knock this out. The reality is we have technology now that means we can all, as adults, be able to handle information in real time, the Hillarys of this world, who simultaneously want to press the reset button with Russia while pretending they're fiddling with American elections.
So
she's not the one I trust with it.